today we are going to discover a very new but a very exciting new art form here, right here in Vietnam, and it's improv. So improv is short for improvisation. So improv, to my understanding, is a form of acting where you do not know what you're coming into and you're just like letting yourself into the scene. And it's very new to Vietnam because I don't think I've ever heard of its presence here in our country before knowing about you, actually. So I'm very curious as to why you decided to bring this art form back home.
Okay, do we have a whole day? I'm gonna have
We have a whole day, whatever you like. I am here.
So in 2017, I have a chance to go to New York to study media studies for my master's degree under Fulbright scholarship program. And after 2 years of finishing the degree, I have a year to work in New York. And so during that year, by chance, I have a very good friend who is a Venezuelan, and she's an MC in NBC. And so she told me that, Vaughn, why don't you try improv? They have a UCB theater, and you can try it out, and I think you're gonna love it. And so after I graduate from my master's degree, I have a short, slow time because I spend a lot of time in the library and studying for the degree. So after you have conquered one of your biggest dreams, which is studying abroad, I have a short time where I feel like, what's next? And so I heard about improv, and I remember I went to the theater. And my impression when I watched the first improv show is that, how on earth are these people so creative, funny, and understanding each other so well? Because they don't plan anything, they just ask for a suggestion from the audience, and then they play a whole set on stage for 30 minutes straight. The beauty of improv is you are yourself with other people being themselves. So it's a collection of people who can be themselves together. In improv, there are a few rules that I can share with you, 3 simple rules. The first rule is that you're gonna have to say yes and to what your partners say. And after I do this, I realize that we say no but a lot in life because it's the nature of the human to challenge, to question, to make sure that you don't fall into a trap. The second rule is make your partner look good.
Oh, that's very interesting.
So most of the time we are trapped in the thinking of how to make myself look good. But in improv, you are trained to make the other person in front of you look good. And if in a group, everybody takes care of one person next to them, then eventually everyone is taken care of, but nobody is taking care of themselves only.
That is so beautiful.
That is so beautiful. When I learned about that concept, I was like, boom. And then like, it's resetting a lot of thinking and believing and mindset. And the last thing is, say the first thing on your mind, which is your original thought and your most instinctive thought. So just 3 simple rules, but you can see that it creates an environment for you to be yourself, but in harmony with other people.
The more I hear you talk about it, the more I find a connection with Lao Tzu's The Way. Like Đạo giáo is the Vietnamese term for it. And the way is about leaning and accepting your nature. And it's about living in harmony, in contrast to, living with restriction. I feel like this is the most human humans can be. And it's very interesting to see an art form adopt that philosophy.
Yeah. Underneath improvisation theater is beautiful philosophy where it makes you become a better version of yourself, whatever you do, whatever job you are or you do. And so I practice this very, very intensively. I work in the theater. I volunteer to help with the shows and the tickets and selling waters and drinks for people who come to the theater. And then after that, I went back to Vietnam, and I missed doing improv so much. And then I decided to start sharing it with Vietnamese people. It's been my full-time job since the first day I came back to Vietnam. So it's been a year. And I don't see the end of it. I'm working every day with great gratitude and happiness. And because this job is so joyful, it's hard in terms of I have to translate many concepts into from American culture to Vietnamese culture. Many sleepless nights of how to share with the students something that they haven't lived, that they haven't seen, they haven't felt. I had a chance to go to New York, and so I lived in that culture for a few years, and so I absorb it. So how to help my student who never set their foot outside of Vietnam. So those are the challenges, but also the joy when you see people who are all office worker, who work in finance, who are teachers, who are nurses, who when the first day they came to class, they are timid, they are scared, and then when they graduate, they are free, they can speak, and they can collaborate with other people. That is the joy and the gratitude that I always have every day of doing this job.
Being student life.